All right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praises and glories unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Harakakawadash. Double honor to our apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who teach God and rule well. And greetings, salutations, blessings, and much love unto you, hopeful elect out there, you men and women who have changed your lives towards righteousness, that you may earn your salvation, or you may be given salvation through your works, your faith, whereby you have believed in these last evil and dark days, doing your best to please the Heavenly Father and through His only begotten Son. Shalom unto you. Your brother Quad with a quick video here. Shouldn't be a very long video. I mean, it's a topic that things have come up, you know, and time has passed, but the Spirit now has moved on me to finally put it together. So the water for bearing with me. And the brother was had mentioned an up and coming brother that, you know, that's learning. He was he mentioned he wanted to kind of know about this topic. And so through the Spirit, here it is. So this is basically about divorce, okay? And because when you coming into this truth, there's certain especially how some of these Israelite groups teach the Bible. You know, we're all young coming into faith, even myself. Some of the hooks are dealing with women. Oh, I could have multiple wives. I could do this. I could do that. You know, we here at Great Millstone, we follow the spirit of a woman. We also, we don't say because she has white skin or even the spirit of a man, we don't judge them by the color of their skin, but by the spirit within them. If they have a Jake spirit and they cling and gravitate toward Yahweh Bashim Shai, we give them the benefit of the doubt. End of the day, He is the judge. All right, but even when it comes to women, we do believe that you can deal. I didn't say marry, but I did say deal with heathen women. You know, but it is a spiritual thing. So this isn't a video about marriage. I'm gonna try to steer clear for interest of time of that. Perhaps in another video. I'm sure there's plenty of videos out there. If not, and seems to be something that there is interest with. I'll kind of touch on it. But this one particularly is when you're dealing with a woman. When do you know when and how and why to put her away? Okay. And we know the story of David and Michal, how he put her away, or he stopped dealing with her. You know, particularly the understanding on that. I believe at that camp we kind of talked about it briefly. I touched on it really briefly, but the point of it was, you can't just put a woman away for any little reason. Okay. Matter of fact, let me grab that because I wasn't gonna go into it, but let me grab it. I think there is edification. Bear with me. All right, so we're here in 2 Samuel chapter 6. I'll start at verse 14. It says, "And David danced before the Lord." This is part of the story, okay? And as we get into it, we'll see it was kind of a petty thing, but watch how David actually dealt with her, okay? And a lot of people mistake this when they teach this, or misunderstand it, when they read this about what actually had happened. Some people say that he divorced her, but that's not actually what happened. So it says, "And David danced before the Lord with all his might. And David was girded with the linen ephod. So David and all the house of Israel brought up the ark of the Lord with shouting and with the sound of the trumpet." So they were celebrating that the ark of the covenant was returned unto us. All right, it says, "And as the ark of the covenant, ark of the Lord, came into the city of David, Michal, Saul's daughter, which was his wife, looked through a window and saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord, and she despised him in her heart." Okay. "And they brought in the ark of the Lord and set it in his place and in the midst of the tabernacle that David had pitched for it. And David offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord," rightfully so. "And as soon as David had made an end of the burnt offering and peace offerings, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord of hosts," in the name of Yahweh, "and he dealt among all the people, even among the whole multitude of Israel, as well as the women, as well to the women as men, to every one a cake of bread and a good piece of flesh and a flagon of wine. So all the people departed, every one to his house. He was passing out food. All right. It says, then David returned to bless his household, and Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet David and said, how glorious was the king of Israel today, who uncovered himself today in the eyes of the handmaids of his servants, as one of the vain fellows shamelessly uncovered himself. So she was talking shit. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I mean, that's to make it real and to make it understand. Your wife really shouldn't be talking to you like that. And you shouldn't be talking disrespectfully to her. Yeah, and a lot of guys do that also. They come into this thing and they know that the man is the head over the woman. Yeah, you got to do what I tell you, but are you instructing her the right way? And you got to know your woman. If this is your woman, you got to know how to instruct her. I don't mean be mean. Yeah, do what I say now, and when I tell you and how it ain't got to be like that, man. There's a way to deal peacefully in your home, man. You know, that's still a grown person, and we're in Babylon, so you still got to deal wisely. But if you're instructing the righteous way, it shouldn't be a big deal unless you have an evil wife, and it happens sometimes. Okay, when I came in, the woman I was with at the time, she wasn't, the one for me. I'm not with her now, but that just goes to show. Okay, but she talked shit and she didn't like what I was getting into, so there's different things, but I didn't put her away for that. Eventually it was found out when I had separated from her, just a quick testimony that she had messed around, right? And as we get into these more of these scriptures, it'll show. But watch how David dealt. It says, and David said unto Michal, it was before the Lord who chose me before thy father and before all his house to appoint me ruler over the people of the Lord, over Israel. Therefore will I play before the Lord. Okay? And I will yet be more vile than thus. And you know what? He was pissy. Like, you know what? I will be even more ruthless than that. Than you have been. It says, and will be base in mine own sight, and of the maidservants which thou hast spoken of them shall I be had in honor. I'm going to them same handmaids, I'm gonna go be with them. Okay? Because if there are men can deal with other women. Is it wise? It's not always wise. Okay? But men can deal with other women as long as they're not engaged or directly dealing with another man or married unto another man. That's the way it goes. And in this society, some people may be paperwork married, but they may not be together. Okay, so there's a deeper details in this thing, But if she's not still dealing with him, then you can deal. If she's only gonna deal with you, okay, that don't mean you go break up somebody's home. That's the last thing you do. Okay, or you just be waiting on them to fall off so you can hop on. That's not really what you do. Okay, but if you come across a woman and she be pleased to dwell with you and you be pleased to dwell with her, then hey, then you bring that union together and y'all start dealing and trying to do it sincerely. But you're really not, as your house will break down in just a moment here, you really should be looking to not be with to get rid of her, okay, to divorce her. All right, now continuing on, it says, therefore, and this is the important part, therefore Michal, the daughter of Saul, had no child until the day of her death. Now, just from what the scripture says there, just, you have to, what's the word, expound, or, what's the word I'm looking for? Extrapolate what it's saying here. Basically, he didn't deal with her like that no more. Okay? He didn't have sex with her like that no more. Okay, he pretty much put her away without divorcing her. Did he continue to take care of her? Yes. So I've heard people say he locked her away in a dungeon, and it could be like a mental or spiritual dungeon, but he didn't physically do that. He took care of her. She still lived in the house, ate in regular food with everybody else and all of that, but he didn't deal with her sexually anymore. Okay, just dealing with her sexually, she probably would have had kids by him, but he stopped dealing with her like that. Okay. And then when we get into other scriptures, it'll show how you deal with that scenario. Okay, really that you're not supposed to. If she defiled in a way, you don't go back and deal with that woman. If she slept around on you, don't go back and deal with that woman. Or if you put away, you don't put it away forever. You put it away for a purpose or for a small amount of time. We'll get into that. So let me grab that. Okay, so let's go to Matthew 19. Okay, Matthew 19. Says the Pharisee also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? Okay. It says, and usually when you can read through this, and I'm going to read it, but you can kind of read into what he's saying, read between the lines, if you will, that they were tempting him, as it says. They were trying to see if he would go against what Moses said, because the only scripture and the only authority of what they had was the laws of Moses and then the words of the prophets. Okay, and those that history and those books that came before the New Testament, because as we know, the New Testament was being written in this time now with Yahushua. All right, so it says, and he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female? So he's showing them that he understood the law, right? Said for this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. When they connect through the act of consummating the union with sex, okay, that's what consummates it. That's what establishes it. Okay. Matter of fact, let's look up that word consummate real quick.
Here's the definition of consummate: make a marriage or relationship complete by having sexual intercourse.
There you go. All right. Make it complete. Yeah, the ceremony is one thing, but you have to make it complete by joining the flesh. All right. Accomplished, completed. That's what it means. Sum total. Okay, all together. Okay. Let's go back. Right. Anyway, it says and be one flesh. Right. Consummated. It says wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. They're not separate no more. They're now together. What therefore the Most High have joined together, let not man put asunder. You're not supposed to break that union, right? And he hit him with the basics of it, right? When he answered the question, says, they say unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away? This is where they tried to throw the trap. It says, he said unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives, but from the beginning it was not so. Okay, because, and you understand what adultery, and as we get, I'm not going to go too deep, but I'll just kind of say it. When you understand the penalties of adultery, which I think we're going to cross over into it anyway in Deuteronomy, when you commit adultery, you're put to death. Okay, but to spare those from people being put to death because the flawed man, you write the bill of divorcement. All right. It says, and suffered you to put away your wives, but from the beginning it was not so. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, committeth adultery. And whoso marrieth her which is put away do commit adultery. You see? So he's showing them like when you divorce, you're now committing adultery. Now we were called an adulterous generation, so the Most High understands that we're guilty. You break one, you break them all. Not that we're out to try to be just okay. It's okay to break this. No, we really don't want that scenario. But in this society, as an older man, it's a whole nother. All things are lawful, but not all things are expedient. It's not expedient nowadays to be with a younger woman, and the age of these younger women that are virgins is too old, too young for an older man, So, it's not really wise to be dealing in that fashion. Okay. It says, verse 10, it says, his disciples said to him, if the case of the man be so with his wife, is it not good to marry? It said, but he said to them, all men cannot receive this saying, save they whom it is given. And there, as he's going on to explain after that, there's certain men that aren't, that the flesh of marriage, of sex, if you will, doesn't bother them the same way. And he explains the different types of eunuchs, if you will. Okay, there's some spirit. It says it in the next verse. I didn't really want to read it. But, a lot of us aren't eunuchs, And so when you go to this one here, in Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter, right? Let's see, verse 5. Verse 5, it says, defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent for a time. Don't withhold sex from each other. You start up in verse 4. It says, the wife have not power. Matter of fact, let me start up. Verse 1. Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman, because of distraction, so on and so forth. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Okay, so you can deal, but just deal with yours. Don't be out. The harlot situation, and we at Great Millstone understand the harlot situation. Some people are some churches, I should say, are against it. Some understand that that's an occasion that men can go and appease their flesh for the moment and get back to the spiritual business. For some men, it's better that you just have your woman and you take care of her and you do all that you're supposed to, and you guys work together, all right, in a greater agreement, okay? But for some, they don't have that type of time. And when you read further in this chapter, which I'm not going to read, it says that it's better a married man care for his wife, how he may please her, but the unmarried man care for the Lord, how he may please the Lord. Okay, roughly paraphrasing. Anyway, it says, nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence. What does that mean? Due affection. Affection. And likewise also the wife unto the husband. The wife have not power of her own body, but the husband. And likewise also the husband have not power of his own body, but the wife. Meaning you're not supposed to just be, I control this, I'm the man, I run this, I'm cutting you off. Like David did that. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but when the whole foreskin situation came, when he got back and he claimed his wife from Saul had already given her away, to someone else, and like they had made an agreement. Hey, you bring me 100 foreskins of the Philistine, I believe the number was, and David came back with 200, and he was like, man, where's my wife? And they had to go get his wife from another man. Okay, and then without saying, I'm not trying to imply something that's not there, but through extrapolation, it could have easily been looked at as she was with that man, but she was betrothed unto engaged unto David, so to speak, with Saul. But Saul didn't think he would be able to perform that, so he just like, oh, he ain't gonna make it back. I sent him out there to get killed, and he made it back. So anyway, it says, power over his own body. So you don't really withhold. All right. It says, defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again. So you're not really supposed to just be apart forever. You're supposed to be able to come back together also. That Satan tempt you not for your incontinency, because you're incontent, you're just not at ease and all of that, right? It says, but I speak this by permission and not of commandment, as Paul's breaking it down. For I would myself that all men were as I myself, but every man have his proper gift of the Most High, one after this manner, and another after that. Some can do it, some cannot. Okay, then it goes into other things. Now, down at 10, it says, matter of fact, verse, I'll just keep reading. I say unto the unmarried and widows, it is good for them if they abide even as I, not to marry, right? But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn, to just be burning with lust. Then your mind not gonna be focused. You're gonna do whatever something else and put yourself in a bad situation. All right. And unto the married I command ye not, I, but the Lord, let not your wife depart from her husband. Don't be so quick to get rid of him for any little thing, okay? If she depart, let her remain unmarried. Don't, because you'll be committing adultery, as Yahushua said. You don't want her, whoever marries her that was put away, now committed adultery, okay? It said, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband, okay? Because when you go into, I'll go real quick and come right back, just using this as a, it tells you that just like this one here in Jeremiah the 3rd chapter, Jeremiah 3:1, they say, if a man put away his wife and she go from him and become another man's, shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted? She's now polluted with that other man's seed and spirit. Okay? And then it goes to say, but thou hast played the harlot with many lovers, yet return again to me, saith the Lord. But, that's different. The Lord, those are faithful unto the Lord, or the elect, and they'll be able to come back through those loins. But that's another story for another time. Back to this. All right. But it says that's why you don't want to commit adultery. You don't want to go back. A lot of the situations with men and women now is because women have slept with many partners. This society doesn't control that scenario, from women sleeping with however many men they want to. This whole women's lib and so on and so forth, and independence and all of this got women beside themselves. Okay, and now they don't have the ability to pair bond with one man, that first man. The only one that a woman was really pair bonded with is the first nigga they let, get it. And it's usually when usually the woman still has a soft spot for that guy, or she hates him with a passion because she was hurt deeply because of him cheating on her or whatever else. Whatever the case was, she made a bad choice or whatever the case was, time, whatever scenarios. But that's usually one that they'll never forget, that first one. Oh, because of virginity. Yeah, it is. Okay. So anyway, back to this. It says, but if she depart, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband, meaning she ain't been defiled, so she can come back. Okay, so she now had the ability to come back because she ain't went off and did nothing with anybody else. And one day she'd be like, you know what, I miss you, work things out, we can fix it. But if she went off to be with another man, that's slim to none that's ever gonna happen. Sometimes a woman will go do some dirt and come back, and now they just want to come back like nothing ever happened. But the man can always tell at the end of the day. Anyway, it said, let not the husband put away his wife. Okay. and then that they come back together. But to the rest I speak, not the Lord. If any brother have a wife that believeth not, that goes into that. So you wouldn't put her away because she don't believe is what this is going into. Or you wouldn't put your husband away because he don't believe. Now let's get into some others that we should know that. But so it said the only way you would put him away, as Yahushua said, is because of fornication. Now get into this divorcement thing. Matter of fact, I'll get to this first. Something else Yahushua said, Matthew 5:31. It hath been said, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement. And I'll get to that. Moses wrote it, says, but I say unto you that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causeth her to commit adultery. And whosoever shall marry her that is divorced committeth adultery. Okay? So that's something you don't, so you got to think about that, man. And if you put her away for anything that's besides her cheating on you with another man, going off and sleeping with someone else, you're causing that woman to commit adultery. Okay? And the man that now gets with her is now committing adultery. All right? So got to be wise about this, man. But that's why it's so important with whom you choose. You can't just choose a woman because she got a big booty or you think she real pretty. You got to choose somebody that you're connected to. All right? And those are coming too, those precepts. Let's see here. I didn't have any particular order. I wrote these in. Here we go. Deuteronomy 24, verse 1. When a man have taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, they're not clicking like that, right? Because he have found some uncleanness in her. Okay? She went off and cheated. When you go into Numbers, I believe it's the 5th chapter, the spirit of jealousy come upon him, he can throw the test at her in that chapter, and if she be found, then certain things will happen. Okay? I'm not going to get into the details of it, but you can read it in Numbers, the 5th chapter. Certain things happen. She gets cellulite and all of that, and then that prove if she's guilty, if she slept around or not, or just been with you. It says, find no favor because he have found some uncleanness in her. Then let him write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand and send her out of his house. And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife. So everybody wasn't just getting killed, is why he wrote this in here, as Yahushua had broken down, but this is what he wrote. And if the latter husband hate her and write her a bill of divorcement, meaning she just an evil woman now. She just wasn't a good woman. And that was something that you didn't want to have of your daughter, man. You want to take care of your daughters to a point where and nurture them in understanding, raising them up and with understanding, so they understood that, hey, look, I'm not gonna, the husband I choose to be with, that chooses me and that I choose, I'm not leaving. I'm not gonna do anything to leave. I'm gonna make it work. Now they just have it so easy that it's a game now that women can just bounce on a man whenever they please. Okay, and it's crazy because I had a couple of articles that I'll grab. The brother put one up today, and I had another one from a couple weeks ago. I'll grab it in just a moment. It says, if the latter husband hate her, and write a bill of divorcement, and giveth in her hand, and sendeth her out of his house, or if the latter husband die, which took her to be his wife, her former husband, which sent her away, may not take her again, because she's defiled, right? Or unclean. She's been with that other man and had his seed, right? Inside of her. It says, and be his wife after she is defiled. After that, she is defiled, for that is abomination detestable before the Lord Yahweh. And thou shalt not cause the land to sin, it's adultery, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance. Okay? So you're not supposed to, okay, I want to go back with her. You know, once you decide to not be with her, man, you stay unmarried. Talking about the woman particularly, you stay unmarried that you may reconcile. But if she go off and be with another man in that time, or you called her to go off and be with another man at that time, he wrote, you know, so you, okay, she can go be with somebody else, but you know, you can't go back. No matter what happened, you can't go back. Okay? So understand that, but that's not what you would have done. It was not that way, as how I broke it down in the beginning. Okay? Now, let's go to Sirach chapter 25, straight to the point, verse 26. It says, if she go not as thou wouldst have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorce, and let her go. Matter of fact, and if you go from 21, is it? And 10? Yes. Exodus chapter 21, verse 10. If he take him another wife, her food, the first wife's food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall not diminish. Okay, should remain right where it's enough for her. You should have abundance before you get another one. You know, I hate to use the word abundance there, but enough to take care of them all on a certain level. And if she do not these three unto her, and if he do not these three unto her, then shall she go free without money. She can't take nothing with her. Okay? She leaves with nothing. She came in with nothing. She's supposed to leave with nothing. Not the kids, not half of your substance. Okay? Like in these times, the game is so cold now that if you have any substance, these women will marry you for as minimal time as they can to get as much as they can. You know, some of them are, you know, they say 10 years you get half or whatever, but some of them will take a smaller chunk depending on which state and which laws apply and where they file at. They'll do that to get a chunk out of you just while they still got some of their youth and go be with another man. So now they got the bag out of this man, used him up for the bag. Now they run off and be with somebody else now who they really want to be with. Now they got the money. They can get the BBL and the bouncies, you know, and on and so forth to catch that other man. You know, it's cold game now, you know. So that's why when you choose, you're not choosing an evil wife. You're choosing a wife. Matter of fact, let me get this. Sirach 7. Start up a little bit. Let's see. 26. Hast thou a wife after thy mind? Forsake her not, but give not thyself over to a light woman. Okay? So, are you connected to your woman? Are y'all spiritually connected? Are y'all soul? Matter of fact, I think it says that in the other. I had that pulled up in the other translations. Yep. Sirach 26, 7, verse 26. The CEB says, do you have a wife who is a soulmate? Don't divorce her, and don't trust yourself to a woman whom you hate, meaning that you don't click with, that you don't get along with. That's always, you know, doing all the wrong things. When you chose a wife, her to be your wife, you should have chose better. Okay, basically, you shouldn't be choosing a wife that you don't connect with, that you don't click with. Okay? Matter of fact, as I'm reading that, let me jump over to this real quick. Sirach 25. It's around like, 21. It says, stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. That shouldn't be the main reason you're choosing a woman, for the pleasurable things in her. Now, should that come with it? Of course. As some younger men mature, you'll realize, you know, you've gotten a little some. You're like, before I came into the truth, you know, I was a little older, so I'd had sex a few times, if you will. I'd had kids. All right. So, the thing is, you learn that connection. Yeah, there's a physical thing that turns you on, but really, When you're mentally connected or spiritually connected with a woman, man, that's what begins to turn you on. That's why later down the line in life, you see some of these couples, you'd be like, damn, they both ugly. But what it was, they were connected differently. Okay? They were connected spiritually. They were soulmates. They understood each other. They were connected. They were devoted to one another. Okay? Nowadays, it's not about that. You see the society just jumping around as, I want to sample everything. And it's off, man. This place is wicked. That way is off. You wouldn't just choose a woman because of like this Kardashian situation. I hate to use her as an example, but I don't, everyone should be able to see this is a great example. Because of her physical beauty, everyone wants to be with her, and she just hopping from man to man, married, divorced, sneak on the side, dealing with this other guy, then marries this guy, then divorces him, and then she's with this guy, marry this guy, then she's with this guy, then she leaves this guy, then she's not divorced, but she's with this guy and that guy, so on and so forth, man. Okay? And there's no punishment to it. Okay? So this is why we have to understand the difference in this, because that's what the people aren't with. There's women out there that just want to sample, man. You shouldn't be out there sampling women. You should be out there trying to choose somebody that's going to benefit your life so you can have your duty be pushed for the Lord. So you can take care of that she takes something else off your plate so you can, spend that time and that energy toward the Lord. Okay? If you don't have, if that's not the case, if she's just bringing more trouble and more time and more worry, hey, maybe you shouldn't be with a woman or that woman. Anyway, it says, that was the point in verse 19. I read 24. I think we got a couple more, not many more. I'm going to go back to, let me just forget about that. Let me go back to this. Sirach 7 in the, let me see, the GNT, verse 26, it says, if you have a good wife, do not divorce her, but do not trust yourself to someone you don't love. NABRE, do you have a wife? Do not mistreat her, but do not trust the wife you hate. Okay? If you have a wife who pleases you, do not divorce her. That's not talking strictly about pleasure. Some things that please men is how well a woman cooks. Other things that may please a man is how she takes care of the kids and keeps the house tidy. There's certain other things. There's more to it than what society puts it all out there to be. Okay? Especially now. All right? Do not divorce her, and this is the NCB. If you have a wife who pleases you, do not divorce her, but do not trust yourself to one whom you are unable to love truly deeply, that you feel that devotion for. Okay? And I've been with different quality or different caliber women, if you will. I've been with some of my worst situations with me trying to be with pretty women, man, that were just drop dead gorgeous, that were voluptuous and this and that had the looks and all of that. Those are the ones that when they go away, you be enraged, man. Not because you was pussy whipped, but because you mad at the situation, how it played out. That they wouldn't connect with you mentally. Okay? But then you have one that, okay, I find there's some beauty. I like how she looks. I like this, how she does this and that. And more so, she's connected to making sure that I'm taken care of, that she's doing her wifely duties with me. That makes me want to do my husbandly duties. That's what we're really looking for. If you're looking, if you're not looking for that, then stop looking. Be married, be the Most High's woman, man. Be married unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man, and put your energy and devotion into that wholeheartedly, man. That sometimes I wish, I don't want to speak presumptuously, I know myself, but sometimes I wish I was just that. I can just be one of those brothers that was that, but that's not my lot right now. at least right now. Anyway, it says, let me see. Yeah, I mean, it say a lot of the same. I'm trying to see a different, it use the word detest. Let's see if there's another word. The WYC, if a woman is to thee after thy soulmate, cast her not away, but betake thou not thee in all thine heart to a hateful woman, okay, or an evil woman, okay. And then there's plenty of scripture. You go into that 25th and 26th chapter of Sirach, it breaks it down. Also, you go into Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter, so the woman's heart is snares and nets. Okay, so this is the scenario you may not want to get yourself involved in. If thou can deal that way. And so let's go over now to this. Is everybody's favorite chapter, right? Deuteronomy chapter 22. Yep. Verse 13, if any man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her, hey man, you already messed up. It can happen, but you've already messed up. You didn't make sure the connection was there before the lust of the flesh really took over. Okay? But it happens. So if that be the case, and people change, man. Sometimes a demon will hop on them. You'll be with somebody and things will be going good. A demon will hop on them and completely turn that person. I've been with a woman before that I was like, man, this is a test for me in life. This woman is a test for me to see if I'm going to choose the right thing. If I'm going to stick with the Lord, if I'm going to not be caught up. She threw police at me. She threw taking the kids. I mean, all different scenarios, man. Child support, all these things will be on you. Get you fired. I mean, all kind of scenarios men go through. Okay, dealing with women. If it's the wife that's your soulmate, you're not gonna be doing that. Okay, that you're not gonna have to go through that the right way. But you gotta be at peace with the Lord, man. You gotta be pleasing the Lord. So the man who pleases the Lord, even his enemies will be at peace with him. And in this society, man, women are men's enemies, are men of the Lord's enemies at least. Okay, because it's that same flesh versus the spirit. The Lord is connected to the spirit, but the woman is connected to the flesh. So what side do you think she's fighting for? Okay, when we're fighting to be more spiritual, and she's fighting for you to be more carnal. All right. Anyway, it says, and give occasion of speech against her, and bring an evil name upon her, and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid. Right? Then shall the father of the damsel, because that's the protocol you're supposed to go through. You're supposed to go to him first. Y'all check it out. Check out the scenario. See if y'all connected. Okay, we gonna join these families this way. I'm gonna purchase her for this much shekels, so on and so forth. Okay, and she gonna take care of my house and bear my children and cook and clean, and we gonna have a good life. That's what you raised her to be, and she gonna understand that I'm a man of the Lord. She fears the Lord. You taught her in the Lord. But if that's not the case, then you start getting these other type of women out there. All right, and found her not a maid. It said, then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity. That's why that is the receipt. Okay? And what is the tokens of the damsel's virginity? You take that white cloth into the bedchamber after the marriage ceremony. When you consummate, you're supposed to pop the cherry then, and then you wipe it up with that, and then that's the token. That's the receipt that says, hey, this had not been opened before. Okay? This bottle or this package had not been opened before. Here's the proof. Okay? And look who had it, the mother and the father. That's their receipt. You bought it. That's the receipt on it. Okay, of the purchase. Right? It says, and take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate. And the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hateth her. And lo, he hath given occasion of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid, meaning she went off. Oh man, I don't know, man. She got demons on her, man. She probably been with another man. He probably talking all crazy about her. Okay? And yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. That's all that matters. She had not been with another man. He knew what he was buying. Okay? She was cool before. Now that he done it, now he's got a problem now. Right? It said, and they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city, and the elders of the city shall take the man and chastise him. Okay? And they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver, and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he hath brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel. Okay, because she was a maid. Okay, she had not had uncleanness or fornication about her. Okay, she had not committed adultery in her father's house. Okay, it says, and she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his days. And for no reason may he write her a bill of divorcement. He can't get away from her no matter what. Okay? For nothing. She didn't do it then, but that don't mean she go and do it then. Some of you women be like, well, that's my free chance to go mess around. No, it's not. You still can't, because at the end of the day, with all of this, if you're not dealing right, these are the rules of how this is supposed to go. When these things happen, this is what you do. This is giving us righteous judgments on how to judge these scenarios. Okay? And when we read down where people get all touchy about it, okay, when adultery happens, or a man force a woman, or whatever the case may be, everything gets touchy. Well, when these things happen, this is how we deal with it. This is how we judge those matters. They're in here, so when they happen, because they happen in society, man. When they happen, this is how you judge it. Not to say you go out and do it, but this is how you judge it. Okay? If my woman ain't tripping and she's doing what she's supposed to, and I didn't like her, I chose wrong. Hey, you break, you buy. You know, no return policy. Okay? You can't divorce. So this is the seriousness of it. So you're not just gonna be all popping everything moving around. You're gonna be when you start marrying women, you're gonna make sure that let me make sure this is the right one. Let me make sure you're not gonna be quick to just hop in the sack and consummate, man. You're gonna try to make it, make sure that this is gonna last forever. Okay? So it's keeping all of that sexual energy out the air, out from amongst our people. Okay? When people just lusting to go have sex and do all this, and man, that's our problem now. Our whole nation is over sexualized nowadays. Okay? Putting too much importance on the act of sex, man. Okay? Anyway, it says, but if the thing be true, and the tokens of the virginity be not found for the damsel, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of the city shall stone her with stones, that she die. Because she cheated, and someone else had popped it and didn't have the tokens. Okay? You see how that works? All right? Now, here's the difference with Yahushua and Mary. Yahushua, Salakia, with Joseph and Mary, Yahushua's parents. She had not cheated on him, or she had not committed the act before Joseph. Okay, they were betrothed to get married, but they didn't wait till the ceremony had passed. That is the difference. But I digress. Okay, so that's why it was still made under the law. They did everything right, except they didn't wait on the ceremony to make it public in front of everybody. So they had sex before, they consummated before the ceremony, which is still lawful. Okay? Now, that's why he didn't want to put her away, privately in front of everybody. He was like, let me go on and bounce up out of here before they start trying to figure out, what we did, that we didn't wait. And then I won't have a receipt. I won't have a receipt. We did it already. I don't have a receipt. Okay? I can't present a receipt, but it was made under the law. Anyway, it says, stone her with the stones that she died, because she had wrought folly in Israel, to play the whore in her father's house. So shall thou put away evil, put evil away from among you. So there won't be any evil amongst our people. So there's a law on this. So we won't be doing this, man. So women are gonna fear. They're not gonna want to leave their husbands and cheat. They're not gonna, it just keeps our nation sincere and clean, man. Okay, which is the best thing for us. I think there's more in this chapter I had. Yep, 28. It says, I'll skip that touchy part. It says, if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, engaged, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lie with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels, top dollar, okay, of silver, and she shall be his wife. Because they consummated. You see it? Even though they didn't go through the ceremony. He's still supposed to go to the father and pay them shekels, and they're now married. Because he hath humbled her, he may not put her away all his days. And that's why you just didn't do that, man, because now you can't get rid of her. And I was going to say earlier, at the end of the day, we cannot forget we have a living power over us, man. A living God over us that sees everything. He has certain angels and everything that's watching. Hey, man, we can't be messing around. All right, so we have to be sincere about when we choose. So you're not trying to choose somebody that you're going to put away. Okay? Women had a lot of, in earlier decades anyway, in my life, women, there was like a phobia, if you will, that women were afraid their man was going to leave them. Well, in this, the men can't leave unless she cheat on him. And if she cheat on him, she just signed a death warrant for herself. Okay? And men didn't want that to happen, because then they will be looked at. You think the Lord is going to just let you get away? You put your wife away, and then she go commit adultery with another man, and the Lord saw that you forced that scenario to happen and just going to let you go get a fresh new wife and everything be all good? It don't work that way. Okay? You can't believe we have a fair, balanced, true living power of God, a Heavenly Father. Okay? So we gotta keep those things in mind, man. All right. So, Lord willing, this was edifying, man. Okay, I just wanted to touch on it. Lord willing, the brothers edified. Lord willing, there was some edification. I know I kind of jumped around a lot and touched on a few other subjects, but you can see how these will bounce over into other topics. The virgin birth and so on and so forth. Even how you marry. Even choosing a good wife. There's chapters about the 26th chapter of Sirach, and even every church-going woman's favorite wife scripture of Proverbs, the 31st chapter. Man, these, talking about virtuous women and virtuous wives. These are written in there showing women how to be and how they should be, and then it also calls out what you're not doing. Okay, but so an evil wife and even how you marry, those things are in there, man. Okay, so everybody can be edified in this scenario. And if you really think about it, coming into the Jacob's trouble and the times that we're coming into, you women are going to need men to protect you, men of the Lord particularly. All right, so you don't want to be dealing unrighteously with these men leading up to that point. Because it's easy for the Lord to just be like, nah, for some reason you don't even need to understand. But nah, I don't want this woman been doing all this behind your back, cheating on you, whatever else. I don't want you with her. I'm going to just give you a vision, and it's going to be true, and that's it. I'll bring the evidence out for you. That's what happened for me. Had this woman tell on herself. In one of the relationships I've been in. So you gotta really consider how we're moving, and that our Heavenly Father is watching, man. So You're not putting her away for any old reason that ain't right, and she ain't being evil unto you, which ain't right. Okay? So, I think I'm gonna end it there. Lord willing, this was edifying, giving all praises and glories unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rachakodash, that belong to our apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone who teach, guide, and rule well. And greetings, salutations, blessings, much love unto you, hopeful elect out there. Stay strong, keep fighting. Till the next one, Shalom.